All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of the Forward of Security podcast. I'm your host, Sean Siegel, at Spider Jewels Arty on Twitter. These are my co-hosts.
Ariel Price, or just call me Ari, Hyperchick Cosplay on Instagram.
And I'm Kenzie. No social media.
How dare you?
All right. Diving right into the news of the week. Ann Sarnoff, the head of Warner Brothers, but not the head of the whole company, because that is the guy that owns all of AT&T that makes the final decision. But Ann Sarnoff says no more Snyderverse because she just wants us to hate her. I think that's what I got from that press conference. No Ayer cut.
Yikes.
And no Snyderverse, which is surprising, kind of, because I mean, you guys saw the response to the Snyder cut. It was massive on Twitter.
Everyone loved it.
Yeah.
Hashtag restore the Snyderverse hit 1 million tweets on Twitter right after her press conference. The timing of that was impeccable. It's not actually her decision. She's a factor in it, but in the whole hierarchy of Warner Brothers, she's like the third in command there, because you've got the head of AT&T at the top, and he is ultimately the one that would get to say yes or no. But it sounds like it's a no. I imagine that Marvel is going to hire Snyder for something after how well received his movie was.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I just want more Joker. I just want more of his Joker. Yeah. That was fantastic. Moving to Marvel, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 1 was the most watched series premiere on Disney Plus, outshining The Mandalorian and WandaVision. And surprisingly, it got more views than High School Musical, the musical, the series, which is Disney Plus's big draw, as everyone knows. Yeah, it was not the most watched thing of the weekend. More people watched Zack Snyder's Justice League than the first Falcon and Winter Soldier, which really surprised
me. That's nuts.
Yeah, I was
going to say that didn't surprise me.
Really? I would have thought that Marvel would have been a lot bigger than DC still at this point, because most people have given up on the DCEU. Like, this sort of brought me back
for a while.
But after Martha, I was pretty much done.
Truth. But maybe, like, because of that, the views went up more?
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, it's not like the Snyder Cut wasn't fantastic, but I would have expected more people would have watched the Snyder Cut after the reviews and everything had come out, because this was only opening day viewership. More people watched Justice League on Thursday than Falcon and Winter Soldier on Friday. And that has the advantage of being a weekend night, too. So I thought that was a 4-hour movie on a Thursday versus a 40-minute TV show from Marvel on a Friday. I was really surprised by that. And I don't get how they can just say no more of that, because obviously that was just a huge, huge thing that did, really well. And it beat Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is DC's whole thing, is we're better than Marvel, even though they aren't. They try to be. Comics, they did it. Movies seems like they can, but won't.
Yeah.
All right, moving into the spoiler warning for Falcon and Winter Soldier and Batwoman and the Suicide Squad trailer, which just launched on Friday. So, final warning for anyone who has not seen the episode yet. Bye. All right. So, for Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 2, what do we think?
Fantastic. I do not appreciate the new Captain America, but pretty well done.
I appreciate Wyatt Russell.
He's a square.
Yeah, when he's wearing a chin strap, when he takes that off.
That's such an.
He's a square. Okay.
One thing I noticed while I was watching that I really wanted to point out, and I have a whole list of things I want to point out, but the main thing that I noticed was, think about Bucky's timeline. So, 2015, he gets activated to kill Nick Fury. And then Hydra falls apart in Winter Soldier. He has about a year of peace when he's in between Civil War and the Winter Soldier. Then he has the entire adventure of Civil War, then goes on ice a couple days later, gets woken up for Infinity War, then gets snapped for 5 years, and then gets woken up again for he comes back for Endgame. So that whole storyline takes place for him over like a week. Like for us watching it,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, he's been through
That's
it. Like
And
he
he's
had to watch
still
Steve
getting
die,
over it.
He's still getting over it, and I thought that was a lot clearer in this episode when he said the if he was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me. Because for Bucky, it's only been 6 months since Cap freed him from Hydra. I mean, for us, it's been
yeah.
what, like 6 years, 7 years? Yeah, that movie was 2014. So it's been 7 years for us watching it. It's been 6 months for him, for the character. He is still terrified of Zemo, I think, and what Zemo can do to him. I think Zemo is going to be the first real test of, is he actually free of the mind control stuff? And does this notebook of words and stuff still work on him? Because I think they're setting Zemo up to be the actual bad guy. The Flag Smashers seemed like maybe they were not. Like I was sympathetic to them for a part of it. What did you guys think about them?
I didn't have any major thoughts on him, but the one thing that you did bring up was the notebook. Would it still work on him?
I don't know. They haven't. They said that they weren't going to wake him up in Wakanda until they had figured out a way to free him from the mind control. But then they had to wake him up anyway for Infinity War because Thanos was coming and
Right.
all the help they could get. And then he hasn't. And then he got snapped, and then he came back 5 years later. And then it's been 6 months where he's been in therapy with Dr. Rayner, who seems like she's finally seeming to get through to him, but now the therapy's over for him, which doesn't seem
Yeah,
like the
it's
right
a little
move.
early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he seems like he's just diving into all the trauma of the last 6 months for him.
A
Yeah.
little bit of therapy with 6 months of trauma. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I wish
that's
your
not
mental
gonna
health
be
the
enough.
best.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down the list of the things that I had to point out. We talked last week about the U.S. agent and how in the comics he was sort of motivated by not wanting Sam to be the Captain America because of racism, and that didn't show up here. It was seemingly not the case. I was happy that they were giving him I really just want to be the best Captain America I can be, and we're going to get to watch his downfall. We're going to get to watch him fall apart. We saw it a little bit at the end of the episode. I'm excited to see that happen. And I was really pleasantly surprised that they did Battlestar too. His partner in the comics, who also falls apart at the same time as him, Lamar Hoskins. I thought that was a cool thing to throw in. The staring contests, we better get more of them.
Yeah.
Those were kind of entertaining.
That was the best. I was watching it, loving it. That was just great.
We all agree this episode was infinitely better than the last one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anthony Mackie is walking around dripping swagger. He just perfect. He is the perfect casting for that role. When he said I always wanted to do that after she snapped Red Wing in half was the best line in the entire MCU since I am Groot, I am Steve Rogers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Were you guys really bothered by U.S. Agent or Captain America, I guess, using the gun? That seemed wrong for Captain America to even have a gun.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Captain America doesn't even kill majority of the time.
I mean, Falcon killed a whole bunch in the first episode. Like, he blew up all those people with the missiles.
But, okay. The difference between Falcon being the new Captain America and this guy is he's trying, like, to be an image of Steve Rogers. Whereas Falcon's like, I'm going to be my own kind of person.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
A good point. John Walker's really good with the shield. Like that throw where he got it under Lamar as he was falling off the truck.
Mhm.
That was. He's had time to work with that thing. Like I don't know how long it's been since they were introducing him or since they started this whole plan, but obviously that shield wasn't just sitting in a museum. Like he was practicing, he
No.
was ready to go.
Yeah.
I
Isaiah
think they were
Bradley.
literally training him.
Yeah, maybe. But who would be training him though? Because who else is good with the shield? You'd think it would have to be
That's a
Bucky or
great
Sam,
question.
but obviously it
Hmm.
wasn't.
Unless
Isaiah
dude,
Bradley.
he's just training himself.
He could.
That
just-
is
yeah,
true.
that's true. He could. Be,
Well,
you saw
he
that
did
thing of
say
him
he was.
throwing it at the when they were doing his
Yeah, but
montage
he-
for Good Morning America.
He did say he was following the Avengers for a little while.
True.
That's-
So he may have been watching and just taking
Yeah.
notes.
Which
all right.
bothers me because he's a stalker. But
Yeah, that's
okay.
I mean, I honestly I didn't hate him until the end. I know that I'm going to, but
I saw his face and hated him.
yeah,
Yeah,
I knew the first time that wink was just
awful. Oh, that just made it awful. But I hate to say this, but I'm starting to like him a little bit, but I know I'm gonna end up hating him.
yeah.
But like I like how he's instead of the racism thing, he's just saying he wants to be the best he can, but he's still doing a dirty dig. I wanted to mention like the cops and everything, but how annoying it was when they came out and he's doing the wee wee, and to him it's just a joke, and to them they're like, it just gives them that, and I'm just like he's
Yeah.
just he's a jock.
Yeah, no, he's a football
Yeah,
player.
he is. Whereas like Steve Rogers was like a legit scrawny kid who was bullied.
Yeah.
Completely different backgrounds.
Yeah, you couldn't. I think a comparison that someone's going to make at some point in the show is this is if Erskine had chosen the other guy from the first Avenger. Do you remember he wanted to choose the Haley guy?
Yes.
And
Yes.
the doctor said no. I think we're seeing what would happen if he had chosen that other guy. He had chosen the strong guy who looked the part, and he doesn't have the super soldier serum yet. But I say yes.
Will he get
as
that?
The Flag Smashers have it, or I guess not the Flag Smashers, but the Power Broker, which I'm going to talk about. The Power Broker in the comics. I don't know how familiar with you guys are with the U.S. Agent and with the Flag Smashers, but I did a deep dive a couple days ago. And the Power Broker is basically a guy who has the super soldier serum, but he makes it addictive. So the Flag Smashers need it to keep their strength, but they also
Steroids.
need it. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically like that. So, and then they mentioned him once in the episode. It was a throwaway reference saying they said, "Who's coming after us?" And the guy that ended up dying said, "It's the Power Broker's men. We have to go." They're afraid of this guy that gave them their serum. I assume he gave them their serum because that's what happens in the comics, and they obviously have it at some way. I suspect that in the post-credits sting of episode 5 is going to be him getting his super serum, and then they're going to have to band together with the Flag Smashers to defeat him. And I have no idea where Zemo's going to fit in, because obviously we know from the trailers and the posters and everything that he doesn't stay in jail, and I assume he's a bad guy, but I don't know how do you fit him into this show? Like, I'm actually asking. I have no idea.
Maybe this is their way of showing us, hey, there's going to be more episodes than planned.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, that would be awesome. But I think episode 4 or 5 post-credit sting, U.S. Agent gets his powers, and so does Battlestar. I actually really like the costume. Everyone was saying online that it was weird and not good. I thought it was very reminiscent of Steve's stealth suit from the Winter Soldier movie. Would you guys think of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
costumes.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bucky's new arm is great. This is the first time
Yes.
we've really gotten to see it since we had a little bit of an Infinity War, and then just absolutely no Bucky content in Endgame. But this is the first time
Which
we'll
I'm a
get-
little salty about.
He gets
Yeah.
lines this time, guys. I'm so happy for him.
Woo-hoo.
All right, Isaiah Bradley, the Black Captain America from the 50s who was thrown in jail instead of praised as a hero. I went back this morning and read his miniseries, which is sort of its own standalone event. He doesn't really get his time to shine as a hero, but basically the US government is experimenting with super soldier serum as a cure for one of the sexually transmitted diseases. I don't remember which. And they're experimenting with it as a cure. 399 out of the 400 that get tested die. He survives and gets powers. And so they use him as a sleeper agent in the Korean War and Vietnam War. And then he is thrown in jail instead of praised as a hero. And it's a very powerful comic. I mean, I recommend that you guys go read it. I'll send the link out later, and I'll post it on the Twitter too. But I was very surprised that they did that whole scene. Obviously, they're setting up the Patriot for the Young Avengers. His grandson Elijah was a great way to introduce him. And now we've got all the Young Avengers. We've gotten everyone that we could be hoping for. Really, we've got their teasers. So I think that was confirmation that we're going to get that movie or TV show. But that whole scene in Baltimore with them getting pulled over by the cops and then Bucky getting arrested, I was surprised that Marvel included that. They called them out.
I'm glad they did.
Oh, no,
I'm glad they
yeah.
did. They needed to. That's something that
said,
needed
hey,
to be
this is an
done.
issue, and every single person is going to now see this.
Mhm.
The therapy scene.
I love that.
No, it was couples therapy.
Yeah, the couples therapy scene. That was just fantastic.
I was smiling while watching it. They're like a married couple.
They are
married couple. It's great.
Yeah,
it was adorable.
It was adorable. That whole scene, and then the way that they acted through it, and just immediately transitioned from having, one of the funniest scenes from Marvel that I can think of, to it being really serious. Like, Bucky wanted that shield. I think Bucky is sort of resentful that he didn't get his chance. Because, I mean, we all thought it was going to Bucky. Like, every fan was like, this is the arc they've been setting up since the beginning. And I think it's going to end with them both sort of taking on the mantle of Captain America. Because we know that Sam's going to get it at some point because of the costume leaks and the toy leaks and all that. So we know that he'll get his chance as Captain America.
Yeah.
But I think Bucky is too. Their whole arc that they've been setting up with Bucky since the first movie, you could have predicted it since the first movie. If you knew the comics even a little bit and the Winter Soldier story, you could have plotted his arc on a line and it would have been followed exactly. And then it just didn't. They just threw it away at the last second. And I can't imagine that they actually are going to do that. The Power Broker, it was nice to get his official confirmation that he is in the show. And I suspect he will be the real bad guy, and that they will have to work with the Flag Smashers and the U.S. agent to defeat him, or the U.S. agent will join him and the Flag Smashers will have to help Buck and Sam get through him. And the last thing I wrote down was that the scores, the soundtracks, especially for Zemo, was perfect. It was so cool to hear that Civil War theme. Like, it was Captain America's theme from Civil War, but toned way down and slowed down. And it sounded dark and sinister and amazing.
If there's one thing that Marvel, that makes Marvel stand out, is their music and their soundtracks.
Yeah,
they're always perfect.
Like Portals and everything Sylvester's done, honestly, for Marvel has been great. Like the Iron Man theme, the Captain America theme at the beginning of this episode, played by the marching band when they were playing the Star Spangled Man with a Plan song. That was such a great callback. My post-watch thoughts that I wrote down, I was weirdly sympathetic to all of the villains. I was like, okay, Walker's just trying his best. Carly Morgenthau is just trying to help people. She thinks that the government is failing. Let's be honest, no one really likes the government in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
They're usually always Hydra.
True.
that was the first thing I thought when I saw it was that it was a setup. I thought that the people they were fighting for a split second were sent by the government to be the enemies that Captain America, first villains he takes down. That was like one of my first thoughts. And I was like, right, that doesn't usually happen here. But I was, I'm suspicious. I was suspicious because like, yeah.
All right, and the last thing that I wrote down, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. I kind of wish there hadn't been all these trailers for it.
Yeah.
Like I was watching that scene with the wizard is just a sorcerer without a hat, or sorcerer's just a
That
wizard
was
without a
great.
hat.
I love
That was
that.
great.
That was hilarious.
It was
That
I
great.
was
would
the
have been
best.
sitting. I would have fallen off. I was watching it on a plane. The first 2 times I watched it, I was on a plane home from North Carolina because I was visiting Elon University, which is where I'm probably going to go. And
Jeez.
I was sitting there and I was laughing so hard. But if I hadn't already seen the scene in the trailers, I think I would have actually fallen off the chair.
I feel like they were trying to hype it up too much, honestly.
These Disney Plus shows, the first 2
Sure.
episodes of all of them are sort of like, okay, we know what's happening now and now and now and now. We know what this scene is. We know what this scene is because we've seen it. And then the last 4 episodes or so, we're not going to know nearly as much because almost all of the trailers have already happened. We know Sharon will be there. We know Zemo will be there, but that's it. That's the rest of what we know. But I wish
Yeah.
they'd sort of followed the Justice League route. Like Zack Snyder's Justice League, there was no dialogue in that trailer except at the very end, and the one line was a line we had already seen. Like,
Yeah.
do that. Just don't tell us what's going on. It's not like no one's gonna not watch it.
It's Marvel. Let's be honest, we're all gonna watch it.
Yeah. It needs to hype. It hypes itself up. Like having too much in the trailer is too
do you
much
guys
to me
remember
because
Endgame's trailer? Where
they make it
every
themselves.
bit of the trailer was come from the first 15 minutes of the movie, except for one small scene of Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man walking up to Thanos. And that was perfect. There was almost no dialogue.
Right.
It was, it was fantastic. And that movie was obviously, it didn't need trailers. I think that would have almost been perfect if they had just done Infinity War, already had Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp done before it, just Infinity War, made us sit for a year with no trailers, basic posters. I would have hated it, but I would have loved the movie even more if I had been like with WandaVision. It was great. I loved it. I loved it a lot more than I probably would have because I was just so starved for Marvel. If they had done that between Infinity War and Endgame, the world would have.
It wouldn't hit as much.
Yeah. All right, ratings time. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really, really great.
I'm gonna go with a 9 too. Just like I was gonna go 8.5 because I had gotten confused but that was more of my bad interpretation of it rather than it failing. I was also rushed watching it, so I was like trying to piece everything together. So it was really good. It was so good.
I think we're all gonna have 9s on this. It just like I wasn't bored. Like I get bored while watching episodes like that sometimes. But like it just had my attention. So 9 out of 10.
All right. I wrote down discussion questions because I thought it would be fun to have a little bit more structure. Why do we think Zemo wasn't in Wakanda? Because if you remember at the end of Civil War, he was arrested by Black Panther. Black Panther would not have given him to the U.S. government.
No.
So he obviously somehow got out of Wakanda, I'm assuming during the chaos of the snap. Or maybe he got snapped and then came back and then got himself arrested again.
Or maybe it's just a major plot hole.
Yeah, maybe it's just
could be.
Plot hole. I mean, do you guys remember Spider-Man: Homecoming? They did Avengers, the first Avengers movie, and then they were like 8 years later, and it was like 2016. That was.
Or maybe
How
he's
did
in
that
hiding.
even make it to the movie? Maybe he's in hiding. Well, we saw him in jail
Oh, yeah.
at the end of it. That was like the last scene.
Oh, maybe they're gonna. Maybe they're just waiting. Maybe they're gonna have him later.
Yep.
We're gonna get one of those.
I missed that question.
Oh, I said, who do we think is the real villain?
Oh, I mean, it's hard to say like one person because my brain goes, well, the government, because they're, orchestrating all this, like making everybody little puppets. Somebody maybe in the government, but
It's been Hayward all along.
I mean, at the moment, the guy that's taking over Captain America, like, I think he's going to end up being a like major villain in it. Mostly because the spoilers of seeing him decapitate is just kind of like, yeah, when did he fall off the wagon?
Yeah, I really hope that's just like episode 3. Like they just
Yeah.
give us
I want to see what happens.
Bucky
Can we
rejected
just-
him and he fell apart.
Come on, we all know that Bucky just follows Captain America,
Mhm.
whoever Captain America is.
That scene of them rolling down the hill. There was something left unsaid there.
Yeah, that was. Oh God, I love them.
All right, final thoughts on Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 2.
Yes.
It was great. Just none of it was boring to me. Like I say, I think there's too much shown in the trailer, so I kind of expected most of it. But that wizard scene had me laughing so hard. I just it reminds me of someone I know in real life, and I was like, oh, there he is, and it was just perfect. I love that.
Oh, another thing
Yeah.
I wanted to point out that I forgot to write down, but then I remembered just now because of that. Walker knew about Falcon's big 3. In the truck scene, Walker was like, we're thinking it's the big 3, androids, aliens, or wizards. And then Bucky said there are no wizards. But
He's a nerd.
Probably.
Yeah, he's clearly on the same I want to say Reddit. He's on the same Reddit feed
Same Reddit.
as Sam. Reading these posts about the big 3, these conspiracy theories about the Avengers. All right. So, Suicide Squad. What did we think of the trailer? Or the Suicide Squad, I guess I should say. Because that's not
I loved it. I like that you can't really recognize any of the characters because I supposed to die. But I liked the nom nom part, which is that had me laughing. Like I had to kind of mute myself for a second because I was just I like the shark, like hand.
My question is like, what happened to the characters from the other Suicide Squad?
I'm sure
Yeah,
they'll just
that's it.
explain it in a minor way and just let it go. Because did you guys realize, it took me 3 times watching the trailers to realize that was Rick Flag. The guy in the yellow shirt was the soldier from the first movie.
I
like, wait,
assumed
what?
it was.
I missed that the
assumed.
first couple of times.
For a
And,
second, I thought it was a reboot. I thought
like
this
the-
movie was a reboot of the first one.
Because the only guy that we didn't get from the original team, we didn't get Katana, but I assume she'll be in it still. And we didn't get Will Smith. We didn't get Deadshot because they're replacing him with.
Yeah.
I was so
yeah.
upset. I love Deadshot.
Well, it's
I'm
'cause he was
emotionally
film-
attached to him.
What was he filming? He was filming something. I don't remember what. But that's why he wasn't in it. But he'll be back, I'm sure. Because they didn't kill him off. They didn't recast. So I'm sure he'll come back.
I'm
I love
kind of
the
emotionally
trailer.
attached.
I am a big Suicide Squad fan. That they're
So
my DC team that I'm in. So I loved seeing all my random obscure characters. Like, I love King Shark from the TV show, the Flash TV show. But he's very
yes.
serious in the TV show. Obviously, this one will not be. I love Sylvester Stallone. That was a very weird casting choice.
Oh, that's who
Yeah, that's who that
I
was.
was trying. That took me way too long. Wow.
Yeah, I think that's great. Pete Davidson is playing Blackguard, whose real character name is Dick Hertz. Which
I love
is
that.
Just
We're
such
gonna
a
get
Pete
so many
Davidson
dick
character.
jokes.
This is gonna be beautiful.
The Weasel was terrifying.
I love it. I'm gonna get emotionally attached to too many characters in this.
All that I kept thinking when I was watching it was that one line from Ant-Man where he was like, "He's so ugly, I love him." That's gonna be the world's reaction to Weasel.
That's gonna be me.
Yep.
I call
I'm
it.
just I'm loving Harley. I love how
is
Harley,
always just fantastic.
They brought back her original colors, which was
I
really
like
nice.
that. That was important. That was an important thing that needed to happen.
Where did they even get blue from?
What do you mean? Oh, for Harley Quinn, they were just
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, bubblegum," because that was like.
Hopefully you guys can edit this. But I really I love Harley and everything, but I love how kind of crazy, she's crazy, but I love how crazy they make her here, where it's just like the rain and just her whole, it's hard
this
to
is the
think
It's
first-
that
like angels are kissing me.
yes, it's like
This
she
was
used to
so
be the
cute.
smart
Harley
doctor.
project that was done since the TV show. I think
Yeah,
that
I have not
she
seen
sat and binged watched the TV show and is putting that into this character.
I haven't seen the Birds of Prey. I'm not
You
sure.
need to watch
Have-
that.
I wanted
I was
to.
about to say the opposite.
I was
thought it was
at
just
the
absolutely
freaking
worth
theater.
skipping.
Really?
I
I was
Uh-uh.
told it was
I
bad.
thought
but-
Black Mask was fantastic as a villain, and more importantly, I thought Victor Zsasz was done very well. I thought Huntress was done well. I thought Black Canary was done well. Harley Quinn was not done well.
No, Harley wasn't
Margot
done
Robbie did the
good,
best
but
she could, but the writing was just awful on that whole movie.
Yeah, they could have given her better writing.
Like the fact that they took Victor Zsasz, one of the best Marvel villains.
'Cause I saw the trailer.
DC villains, and just made him that was disappointing. To me.
Victor.
Victor Zsasz is the serial killer who carves
Yeah.
into his own skin for each kill.
Yeah.
I love him as a villain.
But-
I think they could make him his own movie if they wanted to, and it would do just as well as Joker. But they won't, because he's not as big of a character as the Joker, obviously. But he's such a rich background character, and they made him not. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you talking in the movie or in the?
movie.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, there are a few TV shows where he did pop up,
Yep.
and they did pretty good there.
Yeah, they did great in the shows. He was
Mhm.
in Batwoman.
I'm
in
not there
Batwoman.
yet. Darn it.
No, season 1. Was it Batwoman?
I'm not.
It might have been the Flash.
It's Flash. It's definitely Flash. And then he's also in, I think he made an appearance in DC's Legends of Tomorrow. And then he made an appearance in Arrow. He's just all over the Aeroverse.
Yep. He's been in all of them, and he was in Batwoman. He was in one episode in season 1. But they didn't
Okay.
explicitly say it was him. They just had a guy with the scars.
Hmm.
Yeah. But we're getting off topic. Suicide Squad. Margot Robbie looks like she's going to be fantastic in this. They
Yeah.
gave her top billing over Idris Elba and over, John Cena and Sylvester Stallone, obviously big actors. So the fact that they gave her the top billing for the movie says a lot about how much she's going to be the main character.
I feel
I'm
like
very excited. We're gonna get to see this in the theaters because this is August 6th. So I think we're not gonna be watching this in our living rooms.
I can't wait. I should wear my Harley Quinn wig.
Oh, I'm gonna go in full cosplay.
Hell yeah. That needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to go. I want to see the pictures from the premiere because at the actual premiere they're gonna have cosplay if it's back, and it's back to a real premiere, and someone's gonna go in a cardboard King Shark costume. I don't know.
Oh,
really
yes.
hope it's Pete Davidson, but someone will. And my last thought that I had on it was, of course, when he was picking his villain, James Gunn chose a giant telepathic starfish who is most famous for getting trapped in a jar and becoming the fifth Robin in the comics. Jarro. He sits in a jar. He loves Batman more than anything. But first he tries to kill Batman for a while when he's Starro. Just the weirdest villain. And it makes total sense that that's who James Gunn picked.
Explain your reasoning there. Like, out of all of the villains.
Just because he's James Gunn. I mean, he chose Ego the Living Planet for for Guardians 2, who was played by Wyatt Russell's father, Kurt Russell. Wyatt Russell being the U.S. agent. So it's a nice father-son, weird Marvel bad
A
guy
little
duo.
bit, a little irony there too.
Yep. I just think it makes sense that he chose a giant starfish, and they will eventually absolutely introduce Jarro, who is probably my favorite DC character, other than Damian Wayne. I like it. I like it all. I'm very
Okay.
excited for this movie. Yeah, what do you guys think of the trailer? Just like overall, like how scale 1 to 10, how much are we excited for
Loved
this?
it. At least an 8.5. Just like I don't recognize the other characters, so I'm mostly watching this for Harley, but I love it. I really. And being able to see it in theaters will be so nice.
Mhm. 7 out of 10, mainly just because I don't recognize very many of the people, but I'm just really excited, mainly for Harley.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't
I
know.
would have given it a 9 out of 10, but seeing the trailer and seeing David Desmalchian as Polka Dot Man, and the fact that they're taking Polka Dot Man seriously, I'm gonna bump it
It's
up to a 9.5. I am
I guess for like
so excited.
comedic reasons, I
it's a
understand
comedy. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
comedy.
it's
You
gonna
know
be
that.
funny.
Yeah.
It's gonna be super funny. All right, Arrowverse news of the week. The Flash also had David Desmalchian in it as Abracadabra. Very good episode. Very clearly the actual season premiere because they just finished up the arc from last year, and then this is the real season 7. They set up whatever the hell that was. I don't know if you guys watched it. That thing at the end of it was very large and very weird looking. Very excited to see what it is. I'm very excited to see how they put Godspeed into it. Batwoman pulled off the greatest on-screen / off-screen twist of all time. So some backstory. After episode 19 of Batwoman, they set up a very fun arc with Kate Kane and Bruce Wayne. And then Ruby Rose almost dies on the set. She says, "No way, I'm done with action projects," and leaves. The showrunners announced the very controversial decision to not recast Kate Kane, instead creating a new character, Ryan Wilder. Everyone's like, okay, that's fine. We're into it. Person of color Batwoman, great. We're all in. No more Kate Kane. She's gone. The very first episode that comes back is titled Whatever Happened to Kate Kane. They explain her disappearance away with a plane crash and set up the Sophia mystery. And they just put in the slightest of hints that Kate Kane is not dead, as you would think. Over the 8 episodes, it gets progressively more obvious that Kate Kane is alive. And then they pull the kicker, and she is not alive. Kate Kane is dead. She has been killed by Sophia and separated into a million little pieces. And Alice goes full Joker. And then in the after credits scene, surprise, she is alive. And she's been recast because of a horrible accident. And she's now played by Wallace Day from Krypton, who played the main girl on Krypton. I can't remember her name. But fantastic actress. Looks very similar to Ruby Rose. I'm fine with it. I was so
did not know
surprised.
that.
I threw my popcorn. I was so surprised. This would not have worked if they hadn't been so insistent off screen that they were not keeping Kate Kane. They did a whole press tour saying Kate Kane is not here. We're not dead because maybe Ruby Rose is going to come back. They left the door open for her to come back, but said she is not coming back. Kate Kane is not coming back. Then in the show, they're like, okay, this is what they've been setting up. She's dead. We're going to get to see a funeral over the next couple of episodes. We're not going to see her come back. And then it's not a traditional Arrowverse credit sting. It was an after credit scene. It was more of the Marvel route. You would only get it if you actually stayed. But the credits were short, and I forgot to close out of my computer, and I had already been told to stay for the credits. I was watching it before school on a Monday morning. So it's like, 7 a.m. I'm very tired. And I was so impressed with how they pulled this off because it was so out of nowhere. It was so, all right, here's the book of Kate Kane. We're closing it. Surprise, we're not. And so over the next back half of the season, the back 8 episodes, we're going to see Kate Kane alive, not with the Bat team. We're going to see the Bat team mourn her and grieve her and have her funeral and everything because they've gotten confirmation from the person that supposedly killed her that she is dead, except she isn't.
It's kind of like they did do with Alice, where it was pretty obvious that we all thought she was dead, and then surprise, she's back.
Yep, I loved what they did with Alice in this episode, and you guys will see it when you get to it eventually.
I still gotta get to it.
They're like, okay, Batman has the Joker, Batwoman has Alice, and she is even worse than the Joker because it's her sister's dead.
Mm-hmm.
This whole season has been all over the place. Episode 1 was great with Bruce Wayne. Episode 2 was terrible. Episode 3, 4, 5, I don't even remember. Episode 6 and 7 finally set up the mystery with the Joker, who's long dead in the Aeroverse. They've confirmed that 1,000 times, but they found a way to still have his presence be a burden on Gotham in 6 and 7 with his paintings. And episode 8 reset the entire show. I am so excited for tomorrow night. It's the first time I'm going to watch a Batwoman episode live. I mean, I've watched them, but the only show that I try to keep up with and watch live has consistently been The Flash. I am not waiting an extra night to watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did this very well. Round of applause for the Batwoman showrunners.
I did not know that Ruby Rose had gotten injured.
I don't know if she got injured. What I had heard was that she was very close to getting killed, like getting hit with a beam or something.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And she was... Okay, yeah. She had to have emergency surgery after a stunt injury left her almost paralyzed.
My God.
Oh,
yeah, she had to get multiple stitches in her, like not multiple stitches, but like multiple metal things in her neck, metal pins.
Oh my God. Oh.
I do not blame her for...
She posted a video for her Instagram of the surgery. I have it up now. I'm looking at Ruby Rose's brain right now, guys.
Screen share that?
Can you send that?
Yeah, here. I'm gonna put this up on the screen.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
I would not.
Yeah. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can see it. It is fast forwarding through the video. This is...
Yeah, I can understand why she would leave.
Inside of her neck. She quit action movies after this. Absolutely understandably. There you can see her on the...
I do not blame...
She's in a... Look at her. She's in a full body cast right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
And this doctor is not wearing his mask in the middle of surgery.
I always got to focus.
Yeah. Yeah. I can understand why she left the show. Honestly.
Me too.
I'm a little happy she left the show with what they're doing now, the way they pulled this story off. I'm invested in Kate Kane, which I could not say I was at any point during the first season.
Yeah, I'm definitely more invested in Alice than I am Kate Kane currently, and I'm episode 18 or 19, season 1, so.
And next season, it's worth mentioning that Batwoman Season 1 was one of the Aeroverse shows that got cut short because of COVID-19. They ended it on they ended it on a cliffhanger, but it wasn't an end of season cliffhanger. This was probably
Mhm.
not something they could have ever imagined. But the timing of the fact that COVID hit and then she got injured, like right then, they were like, all right, we're not finishing this season now. We'll figure it out for the next one. They introduced Ryan Wilder. She's fantastic. They're not going to write her out of this show. She has consistently been the best part of season 2. If they write her out in favor of a different Kate Kane, I will be very disappointed. But I think they might give us 2 Batwomen. I think they might.
I will not be upset about that.
All right.
Yep, I'm very excited to see what they go with next.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. There wasn't too much this week. Next week we got Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 3. We are probably I don't know why I think this. I have a feeling that we're going to get a new Marvel trailer over the weekend. We're due for a Black Widow trailer now that we have the date.
Yeah.
Or Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi is coming in 4 months. It's insane that we have no marketing for that movie. That's going to kick off in the next couple of weeks for sure. Spider-Man No Way Home wrapped filming. That was another bit of news that came out of this week. Andrew Garfield's stunt double was spotted on set, and then the whatever it's called, the press gifts had pictures of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man suit. They may be giving us Andrew Garfield and not Tobey Maguire. Weird.
I miss Tobey Maguire. That was my first Spider-Man.
That was your Spider-Man? my Spider-Man growing up was Andrew Garfield. So he's my favorite. Always will
first
be.
Spider-Man. I want him back.
He'll be back for Doctor Strange. I hope. I think. There's no way he won't be. Although they could bring him back and he'll just be, Dick Boner or something.
Oh no.
They'll bring back the actor, but it won't be Spider-Man. They'll do that again.
That is a little upsetting.
I'm still not over
That would
him.
make me so sad.
I'm not over him. I will never be over that unless they pay it off fully and have him become Quicksilver. I will
Ooh.
I will never get over that in WandaVision. Because I am an X-Men person. In terms of DC, I'm a Suicide Squad person. Marvel, I'm an X-Men person. I am a massive Kitty Pryde fan, as you guys know. And I love Quicksilver. They've done him badly. MCU has done him very badly. Very, very hopeful they continue with that tradition.
Yeah.
They gotta bring
He's not gotten the
fix it.
recognition.
Unlike Warner Brothers, they actually listen to their fans on Twitter.
Yeah.
All right, I think that about does it for this week. Thank all 36 of the people that listened last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Hope
so
you're still here.
sweet. Somebody spent time on us. They took time out of their day and they were like, let's listen.
Yep. Someone gave us a thumbs up on YouTube. I don't know what it was. I like them.
That's amazing.
we support you. We love you. We hear you. You're doing great.
Thank you so much.
All right. See you guys next week.